Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to SJU. Thanks for hanging in there. Sorry about the delay. Weird stuff happened. Weird stuff solved. Tenet. It's gonna open. Maybe. Probably. We don't know, but we got some details for you. Plus, there's gonna be a Witcher prequel series. I'm probably gonna make Spencer Power Metal sing the plot of it. And all of that is in support of Direct Relief and Black Lives Matter. We have links for how you can support in the description. Hey, Spencer J. Gilbert.
Hey, happy Monday, Joe.
It's good to see. I love I love every room you switch to in this rental house that you guys got.
I'm trying to stream from every room in the place, and I think the basement bathroom is suiting me the best. I might stick around.
I think you should. How's the Wi-Fi down there?
Strong.
I find in my torture dungeon the internet gets a little iffy.
There's like a signal booster in the urinal, so we're good.
Good, good, good. Well, once you find that special spot, never leave, never ever leave. Hey, you want to talk about Tenet?
Okay.
Let's do it because that's our job.
It's a palindrome. Isn't that crazy?
It's absolutely wild. Well, it's a palindrome that might actually open question mark. So they're shelving a traditional release, which was supposed to be a big day and date. I guess mission accomplished banner on an aircraft carrier that COVID-19 was officially over and that we could all officially go see Tenet. But since that's probably not going to happen anytime soon, um, it's looking like they're going to be doing a big European release and a few maybe cities in the U.S. So as of Monday in the U.S., local government health authorities in more than 30 states have told theaters they can reopen, with cinemas being able to open in 10 or so additional states. So this is also going to be possibly over Labor Day weekend, a weird time in the U.S. where select cities does not mean L.A. and New York. So I think you honestly predicted this. I remember early on in our coverage of this, and we haven't followed every step because the middle part of Will Tenet open isn't interesting. It's been delayed. How will it open? And is it opening? But I think I remember you predicting like, well, Des Moines, get ready to run with Tenet first.
Yeah, I think that the U.S. is going to be split into districts, Hunger Games style, and there will be districts that you can go to, either because they've dealt with the virus or because they don't care and they're sacrificing people on the altar of Moloch. Or there'll be places that are still shut down or still really reeling from the virus. And yeah, I don't look, I don't know how responsible it is to release it patchwork in a place like the United States because state lines are not really a thing that exist. Like you could just drive
Right.
to the state next to you and see the movie and not be subject to restrictions like that. So we'll see. I think this is largely good and cool that the places that have managed to deal with this and pull it together get to see Tenet, and the places that haven't don't, as it should be.
Well, I'm looking forward to. I want to see a Contagion film style opening where you see it track, where you see the virus track from people that were going crossing state lines to see Tenet. So it's going to open overseas August 26th in more than 70 countries, followed by again select U.S. cities September 3rd, in advance of Labor Day weekend. Per Warner Brothers, the major foreign territories where Tenet will open will include Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Korea, Russia, Spain, and the UK. So a lot of major markets. Territories that are still being determined include China, where theaters have finally started to reopen. So this official news breaks a week after Warner Brothers says that they were shelving their traditional release, and that they would no longer try to wait for a global day and date. It is worth noting, however, that given the fast-changing nature of the global health crisis, these plans will change if the situation worsens and more hotspots emerge. More hotspots emerging, for example, because a million bored people on Labor Day weekend who are losing their minds decided to pack into theaters to see Tenet.
I mean, the pressure has to be coming from Nolan, right? Like, wouldn't the studio benefit more from just pushing it a year when they were sure that they could do a global day and date release? Doesn't that bode better for box office results than the kind of trickle it
Yeah,
out?
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be some kind of like three-headed beast where they've all got to figure out how to get along because the studio was screwed if the exhibitors completely go under. The exhibitors are probably desperate at this point. Yeah, I think that at this point, I think they're all just kind of trying to meet in the middle and do the best thing possible. I do wonder how much influence Nolan himself has on this because I know that he's very big on this. He wants this to be seen in theaters. But how much of a big veto does he have in this series of checks and balances? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he has full creative control of the film, but one wonders what his stake is in the release. I'm sure they really want to make him happy because they want whatever's next after Tenet, but
right,
yeah, you're juggling the theater business, the movie business, and people's lives, and hopefully they come out in favor of lives, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, you answered at Bill Bratton's question. He asked if is it WB or Nolan pushing so hard to get this release date going. Probably all parties involved at this point. I think, like you just said, there's a weird balance of everyone just probably at the business level just being really tired of this and kind of like ready to just meat grinder everybody in, and also not wanting to meat grinder too much. What's the equation for how much meat grindering is an okay amount of meat grindering?
Wasn't that the Ed Norton's job in Fight Club?
I think it was. Yeah. That's. I think. Yeah. You know what? How apropos that the plot of Fight Club is being used to determine how quickly we can go see a Nolan film.
Yeah, Joe, and you have exhibitors and the venues themselves also at stake in this too. A big thing of this reporting as they led up to this was just like how much they were talking to the exhibitors, being like, "Please release a movie. Please."
Yeah. At this point, they all kind of need this, but at David said, I thought that this is sort of an interesting aspect of this of the release schedule sort of being flip-flop. Spencer, is that this is going to make this probably the most pirated movie of all time if this opens ahead of the U.S. Are you going to LimeWire this?
No, I don't think so. I mean. It's tough to say because, like, I can buy a movie if I were in college and I couldn't. Maybe I would. I think that the thing is, like,
I do it for the thrill, man.
A large amount of my feelings about piracy are those people were not going to buy it in the first place. But in this case, I do think that these people would be going to see Tenet in theaters if they could. And it makes me wonder if they should launch some type of paid VOD thing alongside of it, just to curb off the piracy aspect of it. But I really do think that, yeah, piracy will really hurt this one because this is a movie that would be seen in theaters, and that is where they make a large chunk of their money, which is too bad.
I think it's going to lose a lot of, this movie has so much, like, what's it all about, like, mystique built around it that's going to be a big impact to it as well. Everyone's going to find out real quick what it's about.
There'll be all the a-holes, like, revealing the plot spoilers of Tenet under every video or in every chat. So just get ready.
Just doing the Lord's work. So I thought this was interesting. Part of what really cemented the decision to go international ahead of the U.S. was China starting to reopen theaters. They opened in a couple of markets the sequel to Train to Busan, Peninsula, and it made $20.8 million. So I think people kind of saw that and they're like, "Oh God, we can at least sort of funnel through." And
Doolittle and Bloodshot also, I think, over the weekend and made some box office in China. Just the most recent one. So movies that were out when this all went down are now getting their release in certain places.
That makes me sad, honestly. If we follow any COVID business plans based on the success or lack thereof of Doolittle, I think we're in a lot of trouble.
Sounds like the U.S. response to COVID. Doolittle, am I right?
Dragon anima. Yeah. Side note, if you haven't seen Train to Busan, you should see Train to Busan so that you can see Peninsula. Are you excited for Peninsula? Let's talk about it.
I mean, Train to Busan, just when I thought I was done with zombie things.
Right?
Damn it, they pulled me back in.
Yeah. Fast running Korean zombies. They got you.
Yeah.
Zombies on a brains on a plane? No, that doesn't work.
Brains on a plane. I'm not so sure about the idea of a peninsula because, there's an escape from a peninsula. Maybe if it were an island. Peninsula just seems like, go north. or
Right?
whichever way your peninsula happens to be facing.
Maybe we'll find out why they can't just go north in the film Peninsula. I'm excited to find out why. At Panthror, who I will always quote in these chats because I just really like his username a lot, says theaters in the Netherlands have been open for a month and things are going all right. Oh, Netherlands! There's been a slight flare up, but mostly that's due to illegal gatherings and not heading into films. Spencer, which Christopher Nolan movie would you fly to the Netherlands to see in theaters?
None of them, but I'd love to just be in the Netherlands now instead of California.
That would be really cool. What's your new life in the Netherlands look like?
Hopefully it's the same. I mean, they're not like, I have really no idea what the Netherlands are like, save for the, is that the windmills one? Is that the one with all the windmills?
That's the Windows one.
But I imagine that they have largely the same things we do in America,
Ryan?
but probably nicer.
Ryan, will you do me a favor? Open the Wikipedia page for the Netherlands and just read us whatever like the introductory paragraph is about. Like,
Yes. After I check if we have a Netherlands fandom page, I will then check if we. I'll
Perfect.
use the Wikipedia as a second.
Oh shoot! Sorry. Yeah, I work for Coke and I suggested Pepsi. I apologize.
Yeah, but that whole region of what's the difference between Netherlands,
Jonathan, well done.
Holland, Dutch, Scandinavian? Like they all start to run together in my head, but they seem like lovely people.
See, you say you hope your life would be pretty much the same, but I feel like if I was going to make a Netherlands move, I would want to make just a bunch of changes and just do a hard reset.
Yeah. I mean, I could be like a minimal techno DJ up there. I feel like that's,
I like that.
yeah, wear turtlenecks.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to go the other way and just pick the trombone back up. 'Cause I played trombone in elementary school and grade school. And I don't know what that means necessarily or what that entails, but Panther, if you want to get in on my a brass band with me in the Netherlands, let's do this.
we're not allowed to visit.
Oh,
We carry
Do you want the
mark.
paragraph now?
yes, please. Thank
All
you.
right, so the Netherlands is a country primarily located in Western Europe and partly in the Caribbean, or Caribbean if you're fancy, forming the largest constituent country of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. In Europe, it consists of 12 provinces that border Germany to the east, Belgium to the south, and the North Sea. Thank you, Jonathan. And the North Sea to the northwest, with maritime borders in the North Sea with those countries and the United Kingdom.
Okay, so Belgium is another country. Then what's Holland? Which one's Holland?
Searching.
Bring the map back up, Moulton.
Holland is a region and former province on the western coast of the Netherlands.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. A lot of European people are going to be laughing at us for being stupid Americans, which is true. They're not wrong. But I would just like to point out that, like, if you take, like, a brisk walk in any direction in Europe, you're in another country. In America, you can drive for 3 days and you're still in Texas.
Yeah.
Like at like a full-on 100-mile-an-hour straight down the highway. It's all Texas.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
I
that's
once drove north for 3 days and I was still in Arizona. I don't understand it. Yeah, so it's plus you find South Dakota on a map, Netherlanders.
yeah.
They
What
can't
do you,
probably.
What do you know about
Yeah.
South Cody's? Nothing.
Y'all can't find Toledo on a map. They probably can.
Yeah, they probably
we're
can.
monsters. Brandon Reed says, just to get us back on track, there's the question of if this is mildly successful, does that open the floodgates? Does Mulan drop? But Brandon Reed says New Mutants is probably definitely the better movie to release. It was cheap to make. It's not a part of a continuing franchise, so it's not a big deal if people don't see it. I think, Brandon, that Disney agrees with you, and that's why they have an official August release date, because they don't care. I just don't think they care about New Mutants. Spencer?
Yeah, I mean it's but the third head of the Hydra that we're dealing with here is the theater exhibitors, and it's like they're the ones who are pushing for the Mulans and the Tenets of the world. New Mutants, I think it's like kind of a curiosity at this point, and I think it'll do better than it would have if they just dropped it in a non-COVID world in February 2016 or whenever it was supposed to come out. But that one, that has to be a contractual thing keeping them from doing a paid VOD on that. Like, I think everybody and their mother would pay $40 to see New Mutants right now, but very few people would risk their lives to see God, name a New Mutant, Joe?
Magic.
Magic, to see Magic on the big screen.
Magic with a K. On his trailer name, Magic the Gathering. Hilarious. Panthror has updated us. He is specified that's North and South Holland, actually. So 2 different regions. Too complicated now. Too complicated. You know what? I'm not going to the Netherlands.
Not as complicated as the Dakotas, but still complicated.
So complicated.
A North and a South Dakota?
Hey guys, thanks for watching our channel. We appreciate it. Spencer appreciates it. Spencer's,
We're learning.
Yeah, we're learning about Europe. Hey, we're doing something cool this week. This Friday we're doing another Fandom 5, the trivia show. We did one on Pokemon a couple weeks back. It was super fun. It was also like super dramatic because the way it works is I think there are 8 players, and each of them get 5 questions. If you get one wrong, you're out. But then one of them has a chance to come back and do like a much harder round for more money, for redemption or whatever. And so a guy who someone didn't get their first round, and then they came back and they nailed it in their redemption round. It was super fun. The 5th question was one where they were like, "Oh my god," and like couldn't get it, and then they got it, and it was good television. That said, I just elbowed my cat in the face. Hi, I love you so much, baby. That said, we're doing one for Friends this Friday. So if you're a Friends head, which I believe some of you are, you should check it out. We got a link in the description. This one's gonna be fun. Come see.
So you win real American money for this, right?
You absolutely do.
Which is still worth something. Get it while it's hot.
Yeah, get it while it's hot, and then spend it as quickly as you can. Perhaps on a plane ticket to the Netherlands.
We'll have to be smuggled into the Netherlands.
I think you could do it though. I think there's maybe that's
hide inside a windmill. A Trojan windmill.
A Trojan windmill to get into. Flip a coin right now, Spencer. Do you want to go to South Netherlands or the Northern Netherlands?
Oh, those Northern Netherlands nights turn into those hot Southern Netherlands days. So I'm going south.
I'm going north because it just sounds more mystical.
Yeah.
The Northern Netherlands. They haven't been explored in years. Speaking of more mystical, you hear about this here Witcher prequel?
Oh, hell yeah.
They're doing a Witcher prequel, baby.
Yeah, they are.
I'm super bummed about this. So they're going to do a 6-episode prequel to The Witcher. It's called The Witcher Blood Origin. It's a limited series. It's going to tell the backstory of the Elven civilization before its fall. So I guess this is around the what was their weird the
Convergence.
The Convergence. Thank you. And they're going to reveal the lost history.
Conjunction. Sorry.
Conjunction. Conjunction.
Which one was the Convergence? That's a different fantasy world. But yeah, Conjunction.
That's maybe Shannara's the Convergence. I don't know. They're all hard to keep track of. But they're gonna. This is gonna be about the lost history of the very first Witcher. We're Witcher heads. I've watched this series 3 times now. I really like it. I know you're a big Witcher guy. Are you excited about this?
Yeah, I love just like it's almost like a one shot, like just a 6-episode tight ancient story of the first Witcher. I mean, this sounds so cool. Yeah, elves. Who doesn't like more elf stuff? But yeah, this is when all the monsters pour through the portal, and they're like, we need to create something to fight them. A fighter? No, a Witcher. Why do we call it that? You'll find out.
You'll find out. Yeah, let me give you this. Blood Origin will tell a story lost to time. I'm going to read you this premise, and this is when we have to just drag and force the shit out of this. Blood Origin will tell a story lost to time in the events that lead to the pivotal conjunction of the spheres, which is one of my favorite albums from Unleash the Archers. When the worlds of monsters, men, and elves merge to become one, according to Netflix. Yeah, I'm stoked about the conjunction of the spheres
in the worlds of monsters and men,
and the elves merged into one folk.
And from them a witch arises.
Declan DeBarra.
Stabbing with. Sorry, you go high, I go low.
Yeah. Lawrence Smith has Rich will continue to produce the tale of this law.
Oh, you're just reading the script now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Lauren Schmidt, here's Rich, will act as executive producer. She's executive producer and showrunner on seasons 1 and 2.
Nolan Dean, as a side note, has gone on to explain that Scotland's theaters are so clean that they're shining, at least the ones I'm by, and social distancing is strictly followed. He's planning to see the Tenet and won't post spoilers, cause he's a good dude.
A hero will rise from the audience. He won't spoil it for anyone. To the conjunction of the spheres.
I think we did it. That's a really good song.
Cut, print.
Cut, print. Someone needs to put that to music for us. Challenged. Not me, because I am not a talented human being. A couple more Witcher thoughts, and then let's crank through some of that big ComicCon news. How weird is it that ComicCon happened and we didn't have to go? Isn't that nice?
That's lovely.
Oh yeah. I like approximately like two things about Comic-Con. I like being able to do our panel and then hang out with everybody and say hello after our panel. And I like getting to expense hotel meals. And that's,
I like going to Comic-Con. I don't like working at Comic-Con.
yeah.
You're just doing your job, but harder, and you have to, and there's like a sea of people between you and anywhere you want to get to, and you can't do any of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Except for our panel, and afterwards is always super fun.
Yeah,
That's
I think
like
I usually find about 20 minutes to walk the floor. And then I also usually get put in charge of my least favorite thing, which is walking around on the floor with a camera crew and talking to people, which just flares up the anxiety for me.
You're so good at it.
Hal Rudnick can do it, man.
Oh.
He can do it. I have to pace around and just be like, let's go talk to this person. But we got to assume, we'll get to Comic-Con in a second. We got to assume they think that they know Witcher Season 2 is the shit.
Yeah, Witcher Season 2 is the shit, and then they're doing an anime, right? Like,
Yeah.
Last Blood or something.
Yes.
No, Blood Origin's the prequel. So what's the anime called?
I'm looking up right now. I posted the link in the chat if anybody wants to know, but it's
My Witcher Academia.
Yeah,
Is what I'm calling it.
it's a slice of life anime about the Witcher boys cooking at their castle.
Yeah, and just falling in love with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very into it. But yeah, so that makes me more excited about Season 2. I really like Season 1 of The Witcher a lot. Yeah, all hail Netflix and the Witcherverse. I'm into it.
More Witcher, less problems. I'm in.
99 Witchers and a witch ain't one. Okay, I'm going to read off Comic-Con news, and you give me one-word reactions.
Okay.
Sounds good? And then we'll get out of here. All right, roundup of Comic-Con 2020, baby. The non-announcement that New Mutants is not moving again or debuting on VOD on streaming and is still scheduled on August 31st. Great. Walking Dead Season 10 finale will air October 4th, leading into the new Walking Dead World Beyond series. Despite the Season 10 finale, when Walking Dead goes back into production, it will film 6 episodes, considered an extension of Season 10 before Season 11 begins proper. Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 will also debut in October, with the original series missing its usual fall date, thanks to COVID-19 delaying production. G4 is coming back.
All right.
In some form?
Okay.
The Nickelodeon animated Star Trek series is officially titled Star Trek Prodigy.
Crank my pitch up.
I'm the holodeck operator! The Boys renewed for Season 3.
Hey.
Did you see Season 1 yet?
Yeah, Season 1.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Let me remind myself too. We gotta talk about boys things.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Not about the show, just boy stuff. New trailers or footage debuted for New Mutants, The Boys Season 2, Amazon's Utopia, His Dark Materials Season 2, Winona Earp Season 4, a Nick Frost Simon Pegg series called Truth Seekers, Archer Season 11, Disney Plus's The Right Stuff, and Hulu's Hellstrom.
New Frost and Peg. That's cool. Never heard about that.
Really dope, actually.
Yeah, that pops out.
Yeah. You'll actually go back and go watch that one. Notably, the Hellstrom trailer has zero Marvel branding or any kind of association on it.
Yeah.
That tracks. Yeah, that's probably fine. And then finally, with no Marvel Studios or DC films or few major studios participating at all, with DC waiting for the big DC Fandom. This was a much smaller Comic-Con. But let me ask you this. Even if things get back to normal, like, is Comic-Con going to come back, or are between events like DC's Fandom and like Disney having, Star Wars Celebration and D23 and all that kind of thing, do they need Comic-Con?
I mean, Comic-Con being dead has been a topic of conversation for the last 8 Comic-Cons. I think it was just a cultural moment in the zeitgeist when all these companies were trying to outdo each other at Comic-Con before they realized that they can do it not necessarily better, but just more controlled on their own by having their own events. And that is the future. But Comic-Con will always be a fun place to hang out with people and to like go to cool experiences and stuff like that. But it stays as the place where news breaks and the biggest schedule rollouts and exclusive things are announced. Is that I think they've been over for a few years now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Well said. Hey, Spencer J. Gilbert, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Hey, thank you guys for being here in chat. And we'll see you tomorrow on SJU when we have an Honest Trailer commentary for the Honest Trailer that's coming out tomorrow.
It's a good one. This is your...